Special brief, serving generals break silence. Chiwenga faction advises Mnangagwa to step down as CAB3 faces total blockade. The high-stakes chess match for the future of Zimbabwe's state apparatus has reached an explosive tipping point. In a massive institutional shift, active serving military generals have reportedly broken their silence, aligning themselves with the retired military top brass to formally advise President Emmerson Mnangagwa to abandon his 23rd term extension ambitions and prepare for a transition of power to Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. The dramatic intervention by active military commanders strips the executive of its ultimate shield of political survival. It lends a fatal blow to Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3, CAB3, the controversial legislation introduced by Justice Minister Ziapi, aimed at extending presidential terms to 7 years and replacing direct popular elections with a parliamentary vote. The ultimatum, serving and retired command unify. The unified position of the military establishment represents the most serious institutional blockade Mnangagwa has faced since taking power via the November 2017 coup. Deep state intelligence sources indicate that active serving generals have explicitly backed the demands previously leveled by retired commanders and Liberation War veterans during a tense, closed-door showdown at the president's private pre-CAB farm. So, mufana kunzwisisa one thing. Kuti hasi Chiwenga ari kugwisa Mnangagwa. That's the danger. Mnangagwa is fighting against a unified voice of the comrades. Mnangagwa is fighting against the unified voice of retired military generals. And it since ma-active, ma-active military kuprike farm akaita sei. Akataura mkomana izvi ndo zviri kutaurwa nemaovhesi, ndo zviri kutaurwa nema-retired generals, so we are standing with the people. So if Mnangagwa tries to bulldoze this, you have to understand kuti mukomana uyu atori pane rimwe level rekuda kutoita zvimwe zvinhu but haanenge ari pama1. Takuudza isusu in our previous video kuti Mnangagwa as of right now seems to have agreed kuti he will step down. So let's finish this. The military's collective command has delivered a final unyielding directive to the 83-year-old leader. The military will not enforce or protect a constitutional coup. If the Mnangagwa faction insists on pushing the 2030 term extension, the security forces will demand the entire framework be pulled from parliament and subjected to a national referendum, a scenario the ruling ZANU-PF faction has desperately tried to avoid, knowing the public would overwhelmingly reject it. So the signs are real. Behind the scenes, panic is real. While Mnangagwa's inner circle has spent months confidently declaring the 2030 project a done deal, fresh leaks from the security architecture reveal total backroom panic. The regime's strategy relied heavily on systematic intimidation, financial inducements, and anonymous death threats to whip individual members of parliament into delivering the required 2/3 legislative majority. However, the military's open alignment with the Chiwenga faction has completely shattered that leverage. The architectural pillars holding up CAB3 have completely dissolved, an independent regional security analyst observed. You cannot run a parallel coercive apparatus to threaten lawmakers when the formal military intelligence structures and active serving commanders are the ones providing those lawmakers with political cover. Mid-tier officers and the rank and file within the barracks have reportedly expressed immense resentment over the hyper-opulence of the first family's inner circle, typified by recent lavish family events, while ordinary soldiers face severe economic hardships. This internal fury gave senior commanders the mandate to act decisively. Preparing the post-Mnangagwa dispensation, With the serving generals making their positions clear, the political terrain in Harare is fundamentally altered. The upcoming parliamentary debates are no longer about passing CAB3. They have transformed into a strategic management process for a post-Mnangagwa executive transition. Constitutional defense groups and legal experts note that holding the line against CAB3 successfully preserves the integrity of the 2013 constitution. Once tabvarira vanhu pacha pachizama kuchinja iko zvinotoita nekareference kekuti kumberi uko tikasangana umwe anenge ada kuchinja techiti ari kuda kuita zvakamboitwa nanhengi zviya but wakatadza and zvizvo zvasimbisa constitution yedu yamuna 2013. So behind the scenes, negotiations are now focusing on the mechanics of a frictionless handoff, ensuring stability and outlining exit guarantees for the current executive's immediate circle as the nation prepares to tilt toward a Chiwenga-led dispensation. As the capital enters a decisive week, we are already in it. The ultimate arbiter of state power in Zimbabwe has once again drawn an absolute line in the sand, demonstrating that any attempt to treat state governance like a personal dynastic chessboard carries consequences the presidency simply cannot afford to ignore. Tiripo pano pamzinda wevanhu. Ndini wenyu Super Galo. Stay tuned. Peace.